So good afternoon, everyone. I am Danny, and please hold your applause. This is a very long sermon, not a long and boring one. Just there's a lot to speak on. Matt, unfortunately, is sick, so I am the pitch hitter today. So bear with me, a little rusty. So today we're going to shift gears a little bit. We've been going through the Gospel of John, and today we're going to be changing it up. Today's message might actually help your relationship. Even if you're single, this sermon's something that is very important. And it's going to help you with your relationship with your spouse, with your friends, even your family, and it might even help you with your relationship with Jesus. But first, we should probably talk about love. Specifically, what is love? Now, please don't hold back. Don't feel embarrassed. If God put something on your heart, please feel free to share it. And during this sermon, please also self-reflect. Think about yourselves, not just what other people are doing wrong. So let's get to the first question. What is love? What do you guys have for us?
Putting others before yourself.
Putting others before yourself. All right.
Compromising.
What's that?
Compromising.
Compromising. All right, I like it.
Forgiving.
Forgiving. Sure. I know there's a lot of lovers out there. What do you guys got?
Action.
What's that?
Love is action.
Love is action. And I should talk about that later on. Good one.
Love is something that makes you do crazy stuff because of what you feel inside of yourself.
Feels like a song.
Yeah.
All right, anybody got anything else? You guys look like you're having fun at the bar. What you got back there? What is love?
No, I was just thinking of the movie.
Well, we actually cut that out. Sorry. See, I told you we should have kept it.
How about you, Sarah? You guys just got engaged. What do you
Yeah.
Tolerating this one.
There you go.
No matter how much stuff he leaves on the counter.
Love is saying yes here.
There you go.
Yes.
That's called the 2 words of happy marriage.
All right. So the point I'm trying to get at here is you notice everyone's answers are a little bit different, right? It's like personally, I realize that I'm good at some of these areas, but others I feel I fall really short. Like being caring and patient and empathetic. I know nobody's mentioned that, but it's definitely where I fall short. And you could ask my son next time you see him. So for our first deep conversation, have you guys ever felt love deprived?
Yeah.
So even if you're surrounded by people that love you or supposed to love you, have you ever felt love deprived? Or have you ever loved somebody that didn't notice your love? So why don't we go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Normally we break off into table conversations, but we're all kind of spread out, so.
Well, it just happened, and I go through it every time of year, is around the holidays. And, my kids are off in different places, and, what my son has chosen to do for life, I don't get to see or talk to him hardly at all. My other daughter's up in Vermont. And my closest daughter is in Tampa, but it's not the same now than it was when we were a family around the holidays, and I miss that love that came from the season.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right, what do you guys have? Whoever feel love or pride. For instance, I'm going to talk about my relationship with my dad. My relationship with my dad wasn't great growing up. I kind of always felt like everything I did wasn't good enough. Everything I did was wrong. And more so, he never had time for me. But don't worry, we're going to unpack my childhood trauma later on. So what about you guys? Have you ever felt unloved? Come on in, grab a drink, have a seat.
It's kind of like with my ex-husband and his best friend, his kids, and it's kind of feeling alone in household kind of thing.
You said you feel alone in a household of people?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely been there before.
Yeah, well, I'm talking that.
Ike, what about you being on a ship full of sailors? Gonna say the other word.
You know, I'll say something kind of personal, but it is, you know, just kind of the truth. Christina and I, we've dealt with infertility as many people are dealing with, and we haven't been blessed with kids the way that, you know, some people are. And it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like God doesn't love you because he hasn't blessed us with something, right? But we have to remember that it's just part of his plan. He's got some better plan for us than what we know, and trust him in that, but it can be pretty hard.
Absolutely. Anybody else feel unloved growing up or? Yeah.
So, when I was 13, we moved from Ohio, where I knew everybody, and my mom and dad divorced. We moved to Sarasota, where I didn't know anybody. And a month later, I was in the military school. And my stepdad sent in military school because he didn't want to go around. So I spent 3 years in military school, came home, ended up in the military less than a year later, or about a year later today. And every time I went to Sarasota to see my mother, my stepdad kept kicking me out. And I just kind of like blew up. And it never really felt unloved until early in the summer of 2025. I met somebody after a 14-year relationship that was completely dysfunctional. I met somebody we were with together with, and then she decided to find somebody else. And all they had was 2 dogs. So when I would go home at night, like I would hear, I'm a nurse, and I would hear these nurses complain about their kids, complain about their husbands, complain about this and that. I said, go home and just have 2 dogs to talk to. That is emptiness. That is abandonment feeling. But my whole life, it's always been like that. I gotta say, the exciting what it's like to be on a ship full of men. When I was in the military, when I was in military school, I was also a fire and EMS. That was my family.
Yeah.
I mean, you become a family member. They're not blood. They do become that way.
Thanks for sharing. Well, today we're going to explore that a little deeper, and hopefully this message will be able to help somebody. So, who here has heard of the Tower of Babel? Who here hasn't? Okay, a couple of us. Awesome. So let's do some catching up. A few thousand years ago, now this is this is after the Great Flood, so the whole world spoke one language. And if somebody could please read Genesis 11:1.
At one time, everyone on the earth spoke the same language and communicated in the same way.
See, I told you. So the people of this time, they wanted to build a great tower, to reach the heavens. And for some reason, we're not going to dive into it, but God put a stop to it. And how we did that, if somebody could please read Genesis 11:8, 9.
So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it is called Babel, because the Lord confused the language and the whole world. From there, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth.
So he stopped it by breaking down communication. Just imagine that. You know, who here has worked in a company or something where the communication was terrible? About half of us.
About 100%.
So the thing is that we all speak different languages, right? You know, communication is super important. Now, I'm not sure why he did this, but the lack of communication destroyed a city. Just imagine what it could do in your own life. You know, humans all over speak different languages, and we even speak different love languages. So we got the love languages up here, if you guys can see. The idea of love languages was taught to me about a decade ago, and this is around the time I was going through a divorce. And I thought to myself, it was a little too late for this bullshit. You know, I really didn't care, and I was disengaged, but I started to care once I realized that this doesn't just affect my relationship with my, you know, soon-to-be ex at the time, but everybody, to include my family, my friends, and especially my son. Now, my son Alex at the time was the only thing that I cared about, and him and I, we definitely speak different love languages. You want to talk? So, let me try to explain. We'll break this down. So the simple idea is that everybody shows and receives love in different ways. The problem is we all speak different languages. And sometimes we don't understand each other. So as you can see from the board, here's the different ones we got. Acts of service, quality time, physical touch, gifting, and words of affirmation. So we'll go and break all these down real quick. So first we have acts of service. Have you ever heard the expression, actions speak louder than words? So acts of service is where you get your hands dirty and you do something for someone that you love. So who can give me an example of acts of service?
My husband unloading the dishwasher.
Unloading the dishwasher, that's a good one. Oh, we just use the dishwasher as the cupboard so you don't have to unload it.
Fixing anything on your wife's car.
Fixing anything on your wife's car? I like it.
Every time something breaks on it, she comes in, honey,
Maybe teaching her how to drive, right?
Checking out the honeydew list.
What's that, Lou?
Checking out the honeydew list.
Honeydew list, what's that?
You don't have wait till you get married.
When was it?
What did you say?
Doing it without being asked to do it.
Ooh, good one. What other acts of service can you guys think of?
Constantly cleaning off the counters at your fiance's house, just constant cleaning counters.
Constantly cleaning counters. Even though that's where all this stuff goes.
Sometimes it's an act of service to like hold your tongue when you know you got that, man, you got that thing that's just, it's gonna get them, but you don't say it instead.
Probably smart that you don't, right?
Yeah.
So acts of service, it could be as simple as handing your partner a towel as they get out of the shower, opening the car door, cooking a meal, cleaning the house, or even building a house in some people's cases. Now, how about biblical examples? Can anybody think of any times in the Bible where there was acts of service?
Washing feet, amen.
Oh, yeah, washing feet, good one.
Most of the miracles are on the street.
All the miracles, yeah, definitely.
Samaritan.
The Good Samaritan, yeah. Can you expound on that, or can anybody expound on the Good Samaritan? Because not everyone here reads the Bible.
The man was mugged and beat up, and a high priest walked by him, and somebody else walked by him, and a Samaritan who was in an opposing tribe went and helped him up and got him the care he needed. I think he took him to like an inn and said, "Take care of him, and I'll pay you on my way back from wherever I'm going."
So basically helping a stranger, somebody that you normally wouldn't.
Yes.
And not a stranger, an enemy.
Oh, an enemy, yeah, absolutely. And then actually, that's pretty much the ones I had here. All right, so next we have quality time. Now this is this refers to uninterrupted time together. No distractions, And looking around, I see some of you guys have already checked your phone, and we've only been talking for about 10 minutes. So if your partner's love language is quality time, you're in trouble. Next is my favorite. If somebody could read Luke 5:12.
While Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came along who was covered in leprosy. When he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man.
So Jesus reached out and touched the man. So this one's going to be physical touch. Yes, it's making love, but it's also holding hands, rubbing someone's back, cuddling on the couch. Even a handshake or a hug can count. You know, this shows that you are comfortable, you're connected, and you're secure around the ones that you love. Now, have you ever tried to cuddle a stranger? Yeah, it's kind of awkward, right?
Lands you in a 6x6.
So let's not skim past the part with the man with leprosy. So leprosy, if you didn't know, is pretty awful, pretty horrific. It's one of the diseases that would cause disfiguration, and it also killed off pain receptors in their bodies. So animals would often, rats would eat away at their body parts as they're sleeping, and they wouldn't feel it. To cause other infections and things like that. So people that were infected with leprosy, they had to announce that they were lepers, they were unclean, and they had to stay away from everybody. They had to keep that barrier from others so they didn't get infected. Much like back in the 80s when someone had HIV, right? Everyone wanted to stay away from them. They didn't want anything to do with them. Or if you go back a couple of years when COVID was rampant, when that first hit. Somebody had COVID, you treated them like a leper, right? You stay away, you get back there.
6 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet. But Jesus not only touched him, but he healed him. That's probably one of the best feelings in that man's life. So we also have gifting. Gifting is obviously giving thoughtful gifts, but it's more than that. It shows that you are connected, that you pay attention to them. It shows that you know what they like and that you are able to provide for them. Like when somebody brings you flowers, or remembers how you like your coffee, or even when you're doing a sermon, they bring you a beer. What could be better? That was totally scripted.
Not at all.
It shows how well you know somebody, that you can care and listen to them, and then you can also provide for them. So who else can give some examples of gifting? Please, if your spouse or significant other is good at it, let us know.
I think the big key is that it's something that's thoughtful, not just generic. Because a lot of people, oh, I'm generous, like give gifts, and it's just, for instance, like a random bottle of wine versus something that actually connects to the person and their own personal likes and things like that.
So thoughtful gifts, sure.
The thoughtfulness of it is what really counts, I think, not necessarily the size.
What else? What else do you guys have? Who here have you ever gotten a really good gift?
Greatest gift I ever opened. This is so crazy, man. I got an analogy for this. Oh, man, it's so good. She knows. Greatest gift I ever opened was a gift I didn't expect. It was on July 27th, 2023. It's the day that I met the Lord. And what I always thought before that, it's like, dude, I can't get this out of my mind. It's like there was a big, beautiful Christmas present under the tree that I was super scared to unwrap. And all of a sudden, and I don't even know if it was my choice, but Jesus revealed himself. And to this day, the best analogy that I can give to anybody in this room is that it's scary. Sometimes it's a really big gift and maybe you don't want to open it. Man, the second that you let Jesus into your heart, it's the best gift that you're ever going to get. And that's the best gift I ever got, so yeah.
All right, well, that kind of ruins it for everybody else. Chuck, Diana ever get you like a classic car or something?
I got one for you. So when we just went on our mission trip to the Philippines, we went to this one church and they made me and my husband stand there in front of everybody and they just did like a procession of gifts. All these gifts they kept giving us, and they gave us like this giant eagle. It's like this big that they was hand carved because that's what they do in their town. That's their livelihood. And it was absolutely gorgeous. They gave us all, I mean, we felt like kings and queens standing there. And we kept saying, no, how are we gonna get this back home? How are we gonna get this home? With this giant eagle, but we made a way. But it was a beautiful gesture that we did not expect. It made us feel amazing.
Now, me personally, I would have hated that. I hate gifts. I don't like gifting because it makes
Well,
me
we
sick.
just weren't expecting it, and it was just
Yeah.
an expression of their love, and it just, we felt so honored.
I hate gifts that involve money, but like, I think like one of the best gifts I ever got was like personal hand-drawn art with like some poetry that reminded the person of me.
Wow.
And I like that it didn't take it took very little resources away from them, but a lot of thought and care. That sort of thing. So, but yeah, I hate when people give me stuff that costs money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, save it for yourself.
What about time?
Time?
You guys ever give time as a gift?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's actually, that's coming up pretty soon, quality time. But
I think my favorite gift, I had to have open heart surgery back in 2009. I was in high school and my aunt gave me this angel bear and I still have it. It's kind of one of the few stuffed animals I still have.
did I skip quality time?
No, you went over it shortly.
Okay. All right.
You seemed uninterested.
Yeah. It's definitely not my love language.
You made a cell phone joke, I remember that. And I was thinking I must not love you because I kept my
All right, because last but not least, we have words of affirmation. If someone could read Proverbs 18:21.
The tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences.
So this is speaking love and encouragement into somebody, right? You know, it's as simple as I love you, or I'm proud of you, or even a text, you know, saying that you're thinking of them, or a good morning if you're not around. Writing a note in your kid's lunchbox, or a letter or a card if, you know, you were born before me. This is probably one of the most dangerous love languages too. Like seriously, the tongue speaks both life and death. All right.
Yeah.
So like, could you imagine if you went into somebody and somebody gave you a big eagle, and you didn't have something to give them back? Like, it's acceptable, right? But what if you break down, you tell your significant other, because your love language is words of affirmation. You say, hey, you know, you go and tell this girl, I love you, and she doesn't say it back. Like, that's crushing. So words of affirmation is definitely a dangerous one. So I want to know, what do you guys think your own love languages are? Let's take a moment. If somebody wants to brag about their partner and how they speak to their love language, I would love to hear it. So what is your guys' love language?
Well, me and my husband actually did this test before. And my love language is acts of service. I need him to do stuff for me without me asking and constantly telling him. And he needs words of affirmation. He needs me to constantly be stroking his ego. And we fight with that because he's his own person and I'm my own person. So we struggle with that all the time. But at least we know what our love languages are.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
What else? What about you, Lou? You're quiet today.
One of the things that my wife loves to do, especially when I travel, is hide things in my luggage.
Like a dead fish?
drugs.
Drugs.
One time there were little egg rolls, or not egg rolls, fortune cookies that had little love notes in them. she puts them in, you know, different places where I'm not finding them all at once, so each day I'll find another one, and, you know, so just her way of expressing her love to me and how much she's missed me when I'm gone.
So is her love language gifting, or is it yours?
That's her. Mine is the affirmation. I'm definitely affirmation.
Awesome. How about you? We got a mother and son over here.
What's my love language?
Yeah. What's your mom's? Do you speak to her love language?
Mine's probably cooking for people.
So acts of service, absolutely. That's mine too.
Yeah, I love cooking. I love bringing people around a good meal.
Sure.
I'll cook for anybody. Anybody's welcome in my house.
Food is my love language, in case you're wondering.
So,
What time is lunch?
so cooking for somebody, not only is it acts of service, but it's also quality time, because you're spending time to be with that person, you know, having a meal. Now, if you're sitting there during dinner after you cook it for them and you're on your phone the whole time, and theirs is quality time, that might burn you.
That's funny because I should probably work on that. I'm very locked into cooking, but usually I go right back to sports after. Yeah, and all that she wants to do is talk to me, so.
Yeah, it's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah, I work on some stuff. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll try rephrasing that a little bit. All she wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to romantic relationships, I feel like all of my best, partnerships involve all of them. But some of my strong suits are words, and I've realized like that's one of the things that they're so easy to give out to your friends and things like that. So I try to remember, like, every time I have a nice thought about somebody that I care about on any level, I do try to like let them know about that. And I'm surprised at like how for such an easy thing it can make a big difference.
That's really hard for a lot of people, though, to tell
Yeah.
somebody that you care about them. Yeah.
But it takes so little, like all it takes is getting over that weird little like, oh, should I tell this person this? Like, oh, you just tell people, it makes a difference in like friendships, I think.
I think for us guys especially though, we've always been so taught to like bottle everything up and not. So for a guy to give another guy a compliment, or to even get a compliment, it's kind of like
Same way I feel about gifting. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
Gross.
a huge difference in someone's day.
How about you guys? You're awfully quiet today. Does anybody here know what their love language is?
I have no idea what mine is.
No?
Acts of service. I would say Jesus.
Oh, what's his?
Acts of service, yeah.
What does he do for you?
Not just me. I mean, he spent Christmas Day installing a ceiling in our daughter's house.
Oh. Now, does she appreciate it?
Oh, gosh.
So maybe hers is acts of service too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she's just like him.
Now we're gonna play devil's advocate. Where can this go wrong?
Well, here's what I was
Sorry, that was a rhetorical question. Did you have something to
I did, and it's gonna make me cry, so just bear with me. I think it's so important for us to think about what we're good at. I'm good at acts of service and gift giving, so that's how I have, I think about that with raising my kids as a single mom. But I just had a really hard conversation with my grown daughter, who said she didn't feel loved. And then it's heartbreaking to know, because those aren't her love languages, right, or what makes her feel loved. And first, I'm grateful that we love each other to have that conversation, right? That she felt like she could even tell me that, right? And we could have this hard conversation. And there was apologies and, just working through all that stuff. And it's a good thing, but it's like we tend to do what's easy for us. And the insight is to think about the other person and like what is going to make them feel loved. What is the love language that they need, right? And so, sorry, I cry at everything, so just,
No, right.
but this is bringing up a lot of like, I'm grateful, that I could have that conversation with her and, but it makes you think.
Absolutely.
So she's exactly right, what you're pointing out there, that just because that's your love language doesn't mean it's your partner's, and that's what I meant, where me and my husband butt heads.
Don't worry, we're gonna cover it. We got that.
Alright.
And even more so, a lot of times, the way we.
But just make sure you guys are speaking up so the
Sorry.
people get it.
Even more so, the way we necessarily show love isn't necessarily how we perceive it as well. So that can also be a difference, how, we give versus receive.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to that too. Towards the bottom though.
Danny, I just wanna say one thing, man, this is important. What's your name?
Tara.
Tamara, okay, I love it. So, dude, yeah, that sucks to hear that, but what an amazing opportunity and what a gift to have that conversation. Most people in their lives, I'm telling you guys, man, so many people, they never even get to that point. They never get that gift. You guys have the future of your lives now to build this relationship together and like.
It's just gonna get stronger from here on out.
100%.
No, I'm so grateful.
No,
Very grateful.
no, that's good.
And it is, and there's awkward positions and there's awkward stuff, but it's, everything's moving forward really well.
Amen.
And it's not like anything was really bad. It was just like this epiphany, like,
Yeah.
how on earth, like, I didn't even know, like, how every breath I was doing was
Yeah.
love, and to come to that conclusion. Anyway, yes, it was, I'm grateful that in a world of no contact that we live in now.
Yeah.
It's good.
Nice to have.
Thank you.
So, back to my daddy issues. And got a lot of them, right?
You have time for this?
So it's not that he didn't love me. It just turned out we both spoke different love languages. While mine was physical touch, and when my mom would massage my back, or when Sarah holds my hand, and I do require a little bit of words of affirmation sometimes, like when a teacher told me I was doing a good job, when I thought I was, special. Well, my dad was terrible at those things.
You are special.
Thank you.
My mommy tells me too.
See, my dad was terrible at these things. In fact, the only time I could really remember any physical touch is when he was beating my ass for doing something bad. Okay. But now I understand that his love languages were acts of service. Like, he used to work his ass off every single day to provide for the family. He would wake up on days off to cook us breakfast. He was always working on the house, working on the cars to improve our quality of life and to keep us safe. He also spoke his love in quality time. He used to take us out fishing. Every single weekend we were out on the boat. He even took us on trips. You know, if you can imagine 3 kids in the back of a, little car driving to Florida every year from New York. He would do that for us. So what went wrong? Obviously my dad loves me, right? But we spoke different love languages, and that often leads in miscommunication and misunderstanding. And this will likely result in a feeling of disconnection after a while. And then if you have that disconnection for too long, well, that's gonna lead to that empty feeling in your in your soul. Even a feeling of loneliness. So what can we do about it? Well, you could disown every single person that you know that doesn't speak the same love language. Get a new spouse if needed. Trade in your kids, get some new ones. Swap out all your friends and family.
How about stepkids?
Get rid of them. Or you could try to adapt. And for argument's sake, let's choose that route for today. So let's choose to adapt. How do we do that? If somebody could read James 1:19.
My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry.
Now I know it's ironic that I'm up here teaching this lesson because I struggle with communication. But the first thing you probably need to do with your partner or whoever it is talk to them. We need to learn what their love language is. You know, sometimes it's easy and obvious, like when a cat's rubbing up against you. You know, obviously he wants to be touched. But sometimes you're dealing with a woman, and nothing makes sense.
Truth.
So you don't hesitate to ask them. You just talk to them. You know, learn their love language. Next, you need to learn how to speak their love language. It's as simple as, you know, sometimes asking them, but sometimes you're also dealing with a woman, and, you know, hopefully communication will help. But you have to pay it, all right. So learning to speak their love language, sometimes it could be easily as putting your phone down or putting it on silence when you're having dinner. Setting an alarm on your phone to remember to send them a good morning text, or reminding about their birthday or anniversary if that's important to them. And whatever is needed, you should probably put thought and effort into it. So who here likes words of affirmation?
I mean, doesn't honestly.
Some people don't.
Actually, that's true. Some
I get
people-
creeped out
just
sometimes.
assume that everyone does, right? Yeah.
So you like words of affirmation?
Dude, I like all 5 of these, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but what's your next?
Yeah.
You gotta pick,
Yeah.
okay, you can't be indecisive this time.
Who else? Who else likes words of affirmation?
I do.
Oh, what you got? You like it?
Yeah,
So what should your partner do?
tell me I look pretty.
All right. And honestly, sometimes.
Back down, Danny.
What's that, Jen?
Back down.
I'm writing it down for him, I'm gonna
Take
check
it.
it.
No, but honestly, sometimes it's as simple as that. Sometimes it's simple as having a conversation like, I don't feel loved, this is why. And you have that conversation, and then you could try to connect. But you have to put that effort into actually meeting their needs. So who here likes quality time? Oh man, a lot of you guys. Diana, what you got?
I like to have a conversation about meaningful things, and maybe not so much.
Less meaningful. I lean toward the Gilpins.
Who else here likes quality time?
New Year's Day, we're sitting out and on the love seat, just listening to music, had the fire going, and nothing else. And that was for probably an hour, and it was awesome. That's how I thought.
Well, did you say anything like, you look pretty? Because
I did say this, I think I look pretty today.
So like one of the problems I have with my son is that he's quality time, and I was in the military for 20 years, so I am driven to get things done, get it done, so like while he's like, hey, let's sit down on the bench and hang out and talk, and I'm like, well, we really need to get back, this, and it's so hard for me to actually do that. He also likes gifting, and I hate getting things, but it's a struggle. But you gotta remember that love is an action, not just a feeling. So if someone could read 1 John 3:18.
My little children, we should not show love for each other only by what we say. We should also show true love by the things that we do.
So we also need to recognize when someone is showing us love, but it's not our actual love language. Now, it took me over about 30 years for me to realize that my dad showed me love growing up. I mean, the countless hours that he spent working on the house, all the money he spent on trips and vacations and things like that, and on the boat, when all I really wanted was a hug. So what do you do if you feel like you're unloved, if you're alone? You have that hole in your soul. Sometimes you need to talk to a doctor, You know, it could be something chemical, medical. You might need therapy. I think a lot of us go through that. Drink a beer. What did Alex say last week? Eat Haagen-Dazs and watch Netflix. Cry.
Try to put some amount of love back out into the world.
Try to give love to others. Yeah.
Give and thou shalt receive.
No, but it's also possible that you just need to work on your relationship with Jesus. So let me try to explain this. And this does require some focus, so put your phones down yet again. So we read the Bible. So as we read in the Bible, you know, we have Jesus, who is God in human form. Jesus was sent down to earth for us. He sacrificed for our sins. He was tortured to death. And God knew this, him going into this, and yet he sent him anyways. Now, if you could imagine sending your son or yourself to be tortured to death, like, why would he do that? Now, some could read John 15, 12, 13.
My command is this, love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends.
All right, well, that doesn't really answer my question, does it? But it does lead to a new one. What do you guys think the greatest form of love is?
Give your life to somebody else.
What's that?
He gave his life for us. You know, if you give your life for somebody else.
Absolutely.